Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Brew. Today, I will be reading from the r/entitledpeople subreddit, so let's jump into it. My family, who abandoned me when I was 16, demand that I give my entitled sister a $6,000 wedding dress for free. I am the executive assistant to the CEO of a pretty big fashion brand, which basically means I'm my boss's biatch, and I do whatever she asks. It gets tiring sometimes, but there are definitely perks to the job. For instance, I get free clothes a lot, mainly for when I go to big events with my boss, because it wouldn't look very good if I was wearing another designer. But my boss also gives me clothes with any defects, i.e., clothing that came out wrong, or is imperfect, or just not up to my boss's standards. Anyways, one day, my boss mentions that one of the wedding dresses she had has a defect. The train is shorter than it was supposed to be. She asked if I knew anyone who could use one. My best friend of 5 years had gotten engaged a few months before, so my boss gave it to me, and I gave it to my friend. This friend has been there for me since I was 20. She took me in and helped me find my path out of a very dark situation. I love and appreciate her so much. Here's where things get messy. My friend made a post thanking my boss and me. My family saw it, and it started a stream of calls and messages from them. For some clarification, I do not have a good relationship with my family. My parents kicked me out when I was 16 after I came out to them. My sister wasn't much better than my parents. We actually never got along, even before I was kicked out. She's a very entitled person who is very selfish. I struggled for a long time after that. I lived with my aunt until I was 18, which wasn't easy as we had very little money. I ended up going to design school, getting an internship, and then a job at my current company. It wasn't until my family found out that I was making good money and working for a multi-million-dollar company did they suddenly want back in my life, which I stupidly allowed to avoid drama. Basically, my mom and sister called me demanding to know why I gave the dress to my friend and not my sister. Apparently, she was getting married. I didn't even know my sister was engaged. They berated me, yelling about how family should come first. Funny, considering these are the same people who kicked me out at 16 for being gay. They even had the audacity to suggest I try to take it back from my friend, as family should come first. When I told them point blank that was never going to happen, they started bashing me to extended family, who then also started messaging me and insulting me. My sister even tried to call my boss to complain. A little more positive news, my friend texted me today saying her and her friends made a pact to all use the wedding dress. 3 out of 5 of them are already engaged. I think that is so sweet. Update: my entitled sister is now demanding a brand new $12,000 dress because I gave away the $6,000 one. Well, last night, my entitled family struck again. Last night I got a call from my mother. This is the conversation we had. Hello? Hello, Dax. Mom, what is it now? Your sister is still upset about the dress. Well, she needs to get over it. I gave the dress to Megan. It belongs to Megan. Plain and simple. I know. Really? She accepts that she's not getting the dress. Okay, great. So, your sister and I came up with a way to make it up to her. What? Since you didn't give her the other dress, we figured you should get her a new one. I can't do that. Why not? You got one for that friend of yours. I didn't get one for her. My boss gave me a defective dress and told me I could give it to someone I know who needed it. Your sister doesn't want a defective dress. She needs a perfect dress. Are you kidding me? No, she says she wants the one from the designer you work with that you posted on your Instagram the other day. That dress cost $12,000. That's perfect. Even better than the $6,000 one. Seriously? You expect me to give you guys a $12,000 dress? Are you high? You do not speak to your mother that way. You're ridiculous. She is your sister. Do you have no respect for this family? Respect? Seriously? You kicked me out when I was 16. Dax, that was a long time ago, and we are talking about your sister, not me. Yeah, my sister. The one who calls me hateful gay slurs all the time. Right. Look, I'm not getting her address from work, and that's final. Fine, but the least you can do is help her buy a new one. At this point, I hang up. She calls back a few times, but I just ignore them. I really consider cutting them off again. This is getting so ridiculous. Entitled sister tried to attack me because I wouldn't give her a $6,000 or $12,000 dress. So I posted on here nearly a year ago about my family who have taken entitlement to the next level. I posted a few more stories, but had to delete them to protect myself because things got serious fast. And I had to take minor legal action against my parents and major legal actions against my sister. I'm finally ready to update, so here it is. I was so tired of my sister and family contacting me about this effing dress, so I took out a no contact order. Then, 2 months later, the pandemic broke out. Me and my husband, then boyfriend, lived in a very small 1-bedroom apartment. We weren't sure what this pandemic had in store, so we decided to temporarily move out to his parents' farm, as they had a huge farmhouse with plenty of room. I cannot tell you how happy I was we did this. A few weeks after we had moved out, my sister shows up at my apartment. We were obviously not home, and my sister didn't know we had left to my in-laws' farm. Our doorbell camera caught everything. She showed up and started banging on the door. At first, she was just screaming my name and yelling for us to open up. Then she started yelling gay insults, which then escalated into her literally threatening us. Threatening our lives. We figured she was just saying stuff to scare us, but then the threatening got disturbing and very detailed. We took the video to the police, but there wasn't much they could do yet, as she hadn't broke in or anything, and after a few minutes of yelling, she left and never came back. Also, my sister does not live in America. We were both born in another country. I moved here on a student visa when I was 18. I then got a work visa after that, then became an American citizen legally a year ago when I married my husband. My sister still lives in our home country, so my husband and I pretty much had to just sit in fear, wondering and waiting to see what she would do next. A few days later, our apartment was broken into and trashed. Again, the doorbell cam showed it was my sister. Good news is, she was caught for an actual crime this time, on the doorbell cam, fleeing the scene. My sister got in a lot of trouble, not just for what she did to us, but because she traveled to another country during a pandemic. Both the US and our home country had travel bans on at the time. How my sister found a way around it, I have no idea. My sister spent a month here in the state, while they decided what to do with her. They ultimately decided to deport her to be dealt with in our home country, which sadly means I have no clue what her charges are. I haven't gotten any messages from my parents or my sister since, likely because they don't want to personally mix the pot. My sister is most likely facing some very serious charges back home, if not in jail already. However, I have gotten a lot of hate from other family members, telling me it's my fault for what happened to my sister. Great googly moogly, that sister is insane. I'm slightly baffled that OP didn't cut off his family before all this. I personally wouldn't have let a bunch of homophobes back into my life to begin with. I'm glad though that he finally came to his senses and got a no contact order, and that his entitled sister was charged with something. I really hope OP doesn't let these people back into his life again. He needs to just start a new life, fresh, with his husband, and stick to that. But anyways, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed this insane entitled people story. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I truly appreciate when you do, and I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!